This is UK Talk Radio, with the music you love and the chat you enjoy.
Hello and welcome to UK Talk Radio with the music you love and the chat you enjoy, broadcasting across the UK 24 hours a day. We're talking to Wayne Walker from PC.co, and today we're talking about properties. So maybe you've had dealings with estate agents and maybe you haven't been that happy with the way things have turned out. Wayne has got properties around the world. We're going to talk about those properties, and we're also going to talk about a different way rather than dealing with an estate agent, and that's the way that Wayne likes to work. We'll find out about that in just a moment.
This is UK Talk Radio, with the music you love and the chat you enjoy.
So I'm fascinated, and your company seems to be growing at a massively fast rate, and you're very ambitious. We can talk about your ambitions in a moment, talk about the properties that you sell and the countries you sell them in. But let's go back to the very beginning. Tell us about starting your company. Why did you want to start the company?
Well, I wanted to start the company because of my own personal experiences of dealing with estate agents in the UK. I found they weren't as good as they could be, and I thought I could do better. So it motivated me to become an estate agent, and that's why I started my own business.
And when did you actually form the company?
Well, the company itself formed in 2011 as a consultancy company. We set up as an estate agent in September of last year.
So, I mean, it's been quite, and there's been a stunning growth in these last few months, really.
That's correct, yes, since we've gone worldwide. So, yeah, the growth, well, I'm really impressed with it.
And tell us about some of the countries that you sell properties in.
Wow, well, we sell countries in Portugal, Spain, France, Bulgaria. We've got new properties coming on in Brazil, Australia, America, Detroit. In America mainly, Miami, you name it, we're going everywhere.
Wow, I mean, that's pretty impressive. And how does that work? Because obviously the States is a long way away. You know, if it's in the high street, just around the corner from where your business is, easy to get there, easy to see it. So what are the problems, and how do you overcome it with, say, somewhere like the States?
Well, the States is a difficult country because the laws are obviously, as in many countries, the laws are very different. So what we tend to do that's different is we network with agents already on the ground. We find this effective. We find them willing to network with us, and this is our way forward.
And Bulgaria is a country where you have lots of properties. So tell us why the interest in Bulgaria, and tell us a little bit about the properties there.
The interest in Bulgaria, we're interested in every country. Bulgaria itself is a beautiful country. The property prices there are very, very cheap. So, for example, if you want a second home, Bulgaria, I mean, I would recommend Bulgaria. You know, you can get a lovely apartment for less than £50,000.
Wow.
Sea view, swimming pool, you know. You can't get anything like that in the UK.
And I think more and more people are thinking, aren't they, that, you know, in retirement and even before that, it'd be nice to have somewhere that you can get away to. And I guess, could you also use it for some of the year as a holiday let? Well,
of course you can, yeah. You know, there's a lot of people that tend to buy them, you know, and hand them over to agents like ourselves for holiday lets, you know, and it's a good second income, you know, because again, you know, the income that you get from a holiday let, you know, in places like Bulgaria, you could be talking €300-400 a month, you know, and again, when you only pay £50,000 for your apartment, you know, that's good income. That's good.
And what about, you mentioned the States, the laws are a little bit different. What about Europe? Are the laws quite complicated there, or is it quite straightforward?
The laws in Europe, it differs country by country, although because we are part of the EU, the laws are a lot more relaxed than, say, they are between Britain and the US. So Europe obviously is a place now to get a property, and because of the EU, it's made life a lot easier for us. Well, it has to a degree. Yeah, I mean, we could still buy a property, you know, regardless of whether we're in the EU or not. Yeah. But because the legislation's, you know, coming from a central house as such, you know, we are all working more off the same sheet. So, you know, it does give us a little bit more confidence when we spend our money in Europe now.
This is UK Talk Radio, with the music you love and the chat you enjoy.
And is one of the perks of your job, do you ever get to stay in some of these places, or just go over and see them for research?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
What a fabulous job.
Yeah, I tell my team I have to go.
And tell us some of the places that you've been to and what the properties are actually like.
Well, I mean, over the last 6 weeks, I've been to Switzerland, Portugal, Spain, Holland. Some of the apartments are beautiful. I'm looking forward to, on the weekend I'm off to Cyprus to be shown around some of the apartments that we've just taken on as well. So they look beautiful too. So it's a nice life.
I don't think your job gets any better, does it? I think I want some of that. So that's fantastic.
You do have to work long hours.
Because people don't realise that, do they? It sounds great when start my own business. So everybody thinks, well, I'll roll in on Monday at lunchtime, which of course that's never going to happen.
No. You've got to be there at 8 o'clock.
And what have you found? Because I'd imagine that starting your own business, were there things that you'd never thought of, such as marketing and things like that?
Well, because I've done management in the past, I kind of had an idea of what it did involve running a business. I didn't realise it would be taking me all around the world, but I have learnt a lot. The most I've learnt is more the legislation. There's a lot more to the legislation than meets the eye, so that's been an eye-opener. So advertising, I always knew advertisement was there, and I always knew it was going to be expensive, but it's part and parcel of the industry. So.
And you mentioned Bulgaria and the fact that obviously the property prices are cheap there. Certainly sounds a lot cheaper than compared to the UK. What about the rest of Europe? Is that typical in the other parts of Europe?
It differs. Another place I would recommend purchasing at the moment in certain parts, mainly Almeria, Murcia in Spain. Again, for me, the property there seems really cheap. It's a beautiful part of Europe. Yeah. The weather's always there. The food's great. The locals are lovely. I'm thinking about buying one myself, So, there is other parts. A lot of people are purchasing in Portugal at the moment. Yeah. In France, we seem to have a lot of movement where people seem to be selling at the moment. Seems to be a little bit of uncertainty, more due to the economics, which is usually the case. They usually tie together, So, but yeah.
And what about the States, property-wise? Is that comparable to the UK? Do we get more for our money over there?
Again, it's difficult. Each state in America differs so much. Like, for example, in Miami at the moment, things are good. Other parts of America, you can be buying a house for $1, because nobody just wants to live in these regions. Wow. More regions that have been affected by natural disasters and things, So yeah, again, it differs, state to state.
Wayne, it's been an interesting interview, and what I like is that you've got some huge ambitions. I think you're a fair ways there already. So as far as your company is concerned, what are your ambitions?
Ambitions going forward is obviously to be the number one platform when anybody around the globe thinks of property. It's my website they type into the Google engine. We want to take more advantage of the lettings aspect, and we also want to drive into the holiday lettings aspect as well, which is something we're looking to do soon. I
wish you all the best with your ambitions. And during this interview, we've been talking about quite complex matters. Different countries have different laws. Everyone is different. Even in Europe, they may border each other, but they're certainly different to each other. So if listeners may be a bit confused or want some more help, can they contact you to find out more?
Yes, of course, they can contact us. They can email us at enquiries@wwpc.co, and we'll help them with their inquiries.
Brilliant stuff, Wayne. Thank you.
Okay.
This is UK Talk Radio, with the music you love and the chat you enjoy.